As over the top as Judge Judy could be, the show could also be quite emotional. For this list, we'll be looking at the most defining moments from this reality court show that is heart-wrenching, heartwarming, or maybe a bit of both. Our countdown includes a Marine getting swindled, being woken up with boiling water, a mother abandoning her daughter, and more. For this list, we'll be looking at the most defining moments from this reality court show that is heart-wrenching, heartwarming, or maybe a bit of both. As ludicrous as Judge Judy could be, it could also be extremely moving. For this list, we'll consider the most heart-wrenching, heartwarming, or even a combination of both defining moments from this reality court show. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, we'll be looking at the most emotional Judge Judy moments. Yeah, you heard it right. An uninvited baby mama. Akali Carter, the plaintiff, attempted to sue Quentin Fitchard, the father of her children, following a fight at his mother's residence. Her story begins to unravel as Judge Judy interrogates her on the hot bench. As we discover more about the case, our sympathy for Quentin grows. Akali may have difficulty with boundaries, regulating Quentin's rights as a father, and possibly ill will towards his fiancée, as revealed by some pointed questioning. This is a gloomy case, especially considering that it concerns children, but seeing Fitchard's face light up when he finds that he can file for a paternity order brightens it a bit. Trying to keep his kids. When it comes to their children, parents must make difficult decisions, but this one tears our hearts. Carmela Minacci and her mother-in-law Nancy intend to sue Joshua Mendez, the father of Carmela's children, for claiming them on his taxes. Judge Judy attempts to build a timeline of the occurrences and clarifies Carmela and Nancy unsuitably as carers. Then, we discover the gut-wrenching decision that Joshua had to make when he encountered really difficult times. He became homeless and decided to relinquish custody of his children so they may have a better life. Why don't you simply rip out our hearts? A Marine gets swindled. Marine Eddie Elder had a great desire to give back to his society, which is why he attempted to assist Michael McKenty in regaining his footing. He welcomed McKenty with wide arms by inviting him into his home, purchasing him a truck for work, and even paying for an acupuncture session. This pleasant veteran even managed to make our favorite judge chuckle. We later discover that McKenty obtained a protective order against Elder, slandered his reputation, and accused Elder of stealing money from him. In Judy's courtroom, justice was unquestionably done, despite the fact that it's tragic to watch a person with such a kind heart duped. Who broke the baby's leg? This might be your biggest nightmare as a parent. A newborn was gravely wounded as a result of Heather Shearer's blatant and egregious negligence while operating a childcare facility. Instead of separating them, the daycare staff just instructed the 9-year-old to play softly when the plaintiff's 9-year-old was playing roughly with their infant. Judge Judy really laughed angrily at the absurdity of this line. It is heartbreaking to hear the mother describe in horrific detail what transpired, and the daycare provider defends her position. We're simply relieved that the infant is okay. Being woken up with boiling water. Living with someone who struggles with addiction is not easy, but instead of receiving warmth and empathy, boiling water was dumped on Kylie Jones while she slept. Her roommate at the time decided that scorching her was a legitimate approach to cope with her addiction. As soon as she attempts to spin the story in her favor, Judge Judy interrupts her and shifts her attention to Kylie. She gives her a tough lecture about her drug abuse before shifting to a gentler tone and assuring her that what she did was wrong. Every time we see Kylie murmur her agreement, our eyes moisten. A mother abandoned her daughter. Family members filing lawsuits against one another is a recipe for heartache, but this case takes the cake. Vivian Hammond sought compensation for putting her daughter's electrical bills in her name. After examining the bare facts, Judge Judy probes the plaintiff further and discovers that Vivian willingly surrendered her daughter to social services at age 10 or 8. There's some debate, owing to alleged behavioral concerns. Judge Judy expresses her displeasure at hearing this and makes her feelings known. As her mother argues her case, her daughter's grief and despondency are evident, and it is tough to see. A man's best friend brings him to tears. You're likely feeling rather down after hearing the previous entries. So here's something to perk you up. In this instance, a guy and his abducted dog were reunited. The defendant asserted that she legally owned the dog because she had purchased it. Being the professional that she is, Judge Judy listened to all sides before going all King Solomon in the courtroom. She requested that the dog be brought in, which caused the crowd to gush. But it was when Judge Judy requested that the dog be placed on the floor that we were overcome with emotion. The small dog charges the man and causes him to cry his eyes out. Grieving mother sued for non-payment of son's burial. In a situation as sensitive and heartbreaking as this, there are no true winners. The proprietor of a funeral parlor had to file a lawsuit against a woman who had not paid her funeral expenses. The corporation offered her a free burial service, but the defendant, Cheryl Torres, declined. She requested a nice funeral, which cost her $3,000, despite the fact that she could not afford it. The most irritating aspect is when Judge Judy attempts to comprehend why Cheryl would choose an unaffordable choice. This was a straightforward case that thankfully did not drag on for too long. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.